it's Alex, your friendly neighborhood realtor and soap maker. So just a quick little intro, introduce myself so you see a face to the voices you see, all that you hear. So today we're going to make a honey and milk, or milk and honey soap. It's going to be fragranced with bergamot and black tea from Brambleberry. We're only using 1 ounce, so 1/50th of the recipe. And I'm doing that because I want to have a light fragrance. I don't want it to be heavy with bergamot and black tea because I want the honey to come out. We're using heavy whipping cream as our milk, and honey is a Polish dew honey that I got from the Polish deli a couple of months back. I absolutely love this stuff. If you're making a hot toddy, this is the stuff you want to use. But then again, I make my hot toddies with tequila, so what can I say? A boy gets sick. Anyway, lye water is in the freezer, chilling. Make sure that when you're using lye water or lye with any application, you're using rubber gloves, you're using a mask or goggles to protect your little eyeballs, and you're wearing long sleeves. You'll see once the lye is ready and we're ready to start making soap, I'll be wearing a lab coat. So yep, and on to soap making. So this is the oil. Like I said before, it's coconut oil, lard, and olive oil. This is the mold. It's a 10-inch mold from Brambleberry. It holds 50 ounces. Here's the lye water solution, our milk, our fragrance, and our honey. Okay, so before I go ahead and put the lye water solution in, I'm going to add my milk. The milk is currently 71 degrees, and it's not wanting to incorporate into the oils, which is fine. I'll be stick blending that here before I put in the lye water solution. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but see how it's like little beads of milk? That'll change here real quick. Make sure you burp your stick blender. See how it turns in a nice little white color? Okay. So that's that. I'm going to grab me a little measuring cup here so I can put my stick blender in it, because I don't need that in here right this very second. Okay, so grab your strainer, put your strainer over your mixture, and then I like to strain my lye water solution over a spatula to make sure that I'm not getting any unnecessary bubbles, because as you can tell, I'm a little happy with the stick blender. So I'm just mixing that together. Putting that in the sink. And any lye lint that you might have, which I didn't have this time around, thank heavens. And just give it a nice little mix, just a stir. Underneath, so the oil is here, about here, you're going to have the lye water start to saponify the oils. So right now I'm just agitating it and mixing it around. I'm going to move it over here so you can see a little bit better. And now, just blend. So right now I'm mixing to emulsification. Okay, we're emulsified. My recipe tends to emulsify quickly. Other recipes take a little longer. Okay. So we have not come to trace yet. I want to come to a light trace, light to medium trace on this before I put in my fragrance oil. We're not at trace yet. Now we're not at trace yet because of the amount of olive oil I've put in here. I'm using about 40% olive oil. Okay, we're at light trace. I'm going to put in the fragrance oil because I want to fragrance the entire batch as opposed to only fragrancing some parts. Now the side of the batch that's going to have the honey in it, that will that'll already be a darker brown. This is kind of what we call a ghost swirl. Go ahead and just mix it. Okay. The fragrance oil apparently is really good in cold process because it took me out of trace. So right now I'm just looking to see, and I'm at a light trace. So this time I'm going to pour off some of my oil. It's actually some of the batter now. About a third. And I'm going to mix in the honey. I'm just going to pour that right in. Okay. And as you can see, it's changing the color. Grab my spatula. Make sure it's nice and incorporated. I don't want to use the stick blender at this point because all I'm going to do is thicken it even more. And I don't want it to be too terribly thick. Now sugar is, when you're making soap, sugar is what we call a solvent. So it makes your soap thinner. Alcohol is also a solvent. And that's how, and you know what? I think I'm going to stick blend this just a little bit more. Because I want a little, I want a little thicker. Okay, that's better. And that's at a medium trace, we're good. We want all of that in here. Okay. Just kind of stir out some of those air bubbles. Like I said. Okay. It smells good. And now for our pour. This is what we refer to as a drop swirl. Get it all the way down. Get it up on top a little bit. Take some more of our white. Drop that down. It's beautiful honey color. Now I'm going to bang it. So tell me in the comments, what do you think? I'm going to go ahead and just pop some of these bubbles, give us a little swirl up on top, which is not going to stay. I'm really just testing to see the thickness of the top. Putting that right there for now. And I'm going to just put a couple of lines of the soap right up on top. This is the honey. Okay. And now some of the, and I am really right-handed, but I'm doing this left-handed so y'all can see. So make fun of me all you want. Putting a nice little thick layer. You're not going to tell the difference once we get our swirl in. Okay, and then I'm just going to clean up the sides a little bit. You're not going to see this in the final swirl, it's just a matter of making sure it looks pretty. Now this is a Taiwanese circle swirl. Okay. Just going to grab me a butter knife. Clean up the edges just a little bit, that way it's easier to take it out. I'm just taking the back of the butter knife to it. Just moving it back in. Okay. So that is milk and honey. I'm going to go ahead, let this set up for just a few minutes before I stick it in the refrigerator to let it cure. Just spraying some rubbing alcohol on top. This is going to help prevent soda ash and also burst some of those bubbles. I'm not too fond of bubbles, but hey, this isn't. They seem to be popping on their own. This is homemade. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator overnight, let it set up, and we'll go ahead and catch you tomorrow for the cut. Hello everyone, I hope you're doing good. We're back to cut the soap. As you can see, just going to remove the end piece. As you can see, we had some cracking last night because the soap does get really hot. So let's cut into this and see what it looks like. Let me get a little paper towel and clean off the blade here. Oh wow, that looks really nice. Make sure you can see that all right. Now it's not the swirl that I was hoping for, but that's okay. I was hoping when I made this to have what's called a ghost swirl. This soap is still really soft. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. It actually, last night I tested it, you know, a little sniff test, and it was smelling a lot like alcohol. And I just didn't know what it was going to do. Sorry, my hands are in the way. But this soap is so incredibly soft. It's like butter. Looks like we gelled in the middle there a little bit. So let me show you on this next cut. It looks like you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So this the fragrance oil said that it discolors to yellow or tan, which is why we use the titanium dioxide. So the yellow and tan is on the outside. It's kind of a buttery look. But the titanium dioxide gelled last night, right there in the middle. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's definitely white there. It just adds a little bit of interest. So I just met with, because as you all know, I'm a realtor as well. I just met with a home warranty company. The representative seems to be really nice. And so we're working on some things to help out some buyers and sellers. And I'm excited about that. I love it when I can provide services to my clients, whether they're buyers, sellers, or tenants, that are personal. It's one of the reasons I started making soap to begin with. That is so nice. something that was made specifically for someone. I think oftentimes that personal touch is just lost. Whether it be because we're all busy or we just all rush, and sometimes we forget that other people have feelings and thoughts and emotions and want to feel like they're accepted. And that's the kind of service, ooh, I like that swirl. That's the kind of service that I like to provide. I get to, I'm working with clients. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's a couple of months. And sometimes I've worked with clients for many years. Here we go. Because the process, the requirements to purchase a home are always the same. However, every person is different and unique, and there's the end. These end pieces are going to be samples that I'll be using throughout the curing process to test the lather and whatnot. So that's the soap. I'm gonna let it harden for a couple of days before I bevel the edges, because it's just so soft. My fingers will go right through it. So yeah, the meeting today went really, really well, and I'm happy. This representative of the company was very sweet. She was looking at this soap, actually. I showed her a sneak peek of the first video that I took making the soap, and that video came out to be about 14.5 minutes long. So I'm probably going to go ahead and cut that down so that we don't, so I'm not boring you, but because we all have busy things to do. But then again, if you're a soaper, chances are I've been looking at your videos as well, and you have provided me with a lot of inspiration. But I wanted to give a shout out today to Jamie Yanashevsky. I think I pronounced your last name correctly. She's somebody that I have been communicating with in the soaping group that I belong to on Facebook. She created this beautiful soap, and she did the Ghost Swirl, and hers was a beautiful white soap with a different color white, and she used honey to make the second swirl, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to make something a lot like it. Unfortunately, the honey that I used was just a little too dark to accomplish that, but I think it came out beautiful. And thank you so much, Jamie, for your inspiration. And as I said, I'll go ahead and post a link to this video on your comment or on your post in the group, so that way you get to see it. I hope you all have a great day, and I am going to go and carefully put these on the drying rack. Well, I hope you all have a good one. Hey everybody, it's Alex. I'm just going and doing some editing on this video, and I think I wanted to give you a little bit of an editorial. So this is the first soaping video I've done. I've done a lot of real estate videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and I hope you did, please like, share, comment, subscribe. I would say normally go ahead and hit the little bell icon if you're on YouTube, but I'm not going to be posting that many videos for you to be notified immediately. But if you'd like to, I'd be honored. I really would. So we didn't use titanium dioxide in the soap. We ended up using heavy whipping cream and honey. I've actually still got it here sitting right next to me. It's drying out a little bit before I put it upstairs and put it to bed to start curing. It really was like butter, like a soft room temperature butter. I should have waited to cut it. Unfortunately, well, it smelled really good, and it really wanted to see what it was going to look like, and I knew it was going to take me hours to edit this video, and it has. It's really taken me all day. I hope you enjoyed the sense of humor. I hope you enjoyed soap making. I'm not really skilled enough to teach you how to make soap, but this is more of a video of how I make soap, and I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that it inspires you on your soap making journey. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.